Hi, Ali from Alys Inky Fingers here, and as promised this bag has been long awaited for, but the time restrictions of work have made it a bit late. We're going to show you today how to make this quilted evening bag. It's got a turn clasp on the front with a nice flap. Inside you've got a little pocket, and it also comes with a little zippered purse for you, just for your coins and things. So to get started, first of all we need to cut out quite a few pieces. And it tells you in the instructions to cut out the strips first. So you're cutting it out 4 by 5, and then you're going to cut it into 2.5 lengths, or rather widths. So you will end up with pieces like this. So these are 4 by 5 that way, and 4.5 that way and 2 1/4 this way. So when they're sewn together it'll make a 2-inch wide one. So first of all what we're going to do is we're going to join one plain with one patterned. I've got 1/4 inch foot on, and I've set my needle in the correct position. Lay one directly on top of the other one and sew all the way down, just move a little bit, all the way down that seam there. So when you press this, you need to hold it, lay it down, press on the top to set your seams, lift the pattern fabric up, and I always put the pattern on top because it will then go to that side, so you know where your seam is going to be for when you're stitching. So that will now measure 4 by 4.5 because you've got 2 1/4 there, 2 1/4 there, sewn together it will make 4. So what I want you to do now is, and I'm not going to actually do it because I can't do it in mid-air, but you're going to lay this onto your cutting mat. You're going to get your ruler, you're going to put it that way, and you're going to cut 2 1/4 there, so that will make 4 squares. When you've done that, I'll cut it and then I'll bring it to the camera so you can see what I've done. So there I've got 2 pieces, and we're going to turn one round, join those seams together there. They'll nestle together nicely because we did the pressing to the pattern side, and we're going to sew from that end to that end, matching the seams in the centre. You're going to do this on 17 blocks altogether. Now 17 is an odd number, so you're going to have 9 of one and 8 of the other. And by that, I'll just be pressing this while I'm talking to you, you're going to have 9 with the blue squares and 9 with the grey squares, 8 with the grey squares, or vice versa, whichever you prefer. So that's your block done. So then you will see here we've got a pile of the ones with the grey and a pile of the ones with the blue. So what we need to do, if you look on the diagram on your instructions, you've got 2 blocks at the top, and then you've got 4, then you've got 5, then 4, then 2. So you need to lay these out how you want them to go. So start off with your 2 1, and this is entirely up to you. You can change them around until you're happy with them. So you've got your 2, and then you've got your 4, so you've got 1 at this side, so I would put a grey one here, like that, and then, actually no I wouldn't, I would put the grey one underneath that blue one, and I would put a blue one there. So you can have it with all your patterns going like that. You could twist it, so you've got blues and then you've got your patterns. I actually like all the patterns in a row, so we're going to have a blue one at this side. So now here we've got patterns and grey, so you can turn that round. So you've still got patterns and greys. Let's see if a different one will make it different. There you go. So now you've got all your patterns going up. So I'll turn that one round again, and you've got your patterns going that way. So you see what I mean? You can change them round until you've got a look that you're happy with. So that one I need to put my pieces going that way. So again, I've got all my patterns going in the same way. So you would do that and lay them out as you've got on your instructions, like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to sew them together in your rows. Now it will look like this, but I've cut off that piece there, so that makes the bag shape. So the blocks would actually be like that. So that's your 2 one, that's your 4 one, that's your 5 one, your 4 and your 2. So you will have them laid out, and on your instructions it shows you turning it that way and cutting directly from that point to that point. So that gives you your bag top, and do the same on the bottom and that'll give you your bag bottom. Now what I've done is I've put the wadding on the back, and as you can see I've used a lovely little decorative stitch, or you could just quilt in the ditch, whatever you want to do on that. I think it looks nice with the decorative stitches. But the next part is probably the most difficult to explain, so by seeing it I'm sure this will help you. So what I'm going to do is take some pins, and I'll just check how I've described it on here. Yep, you've got your 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. So what you need to do is your 2s need to go together. So I'm going to take the 2s, which are these 2, and place those 2 together there and pop a pin in. Then the top ones above are the 1s, so you need to put those together. So just, ouch, don't stick your finger. Put those ends together there and pop another pin in, if you can get one in. I'm going to need some sharper pins. There we go. So now you can see that forms the base of your bag, and these 2 were both number 3s, so they go together. That forms the side and the bottom of your bag, so you would do the same at the other side. So because I've got that side pinned, I'll actually sew this side and show you how we're doing it. So again, this was like this. These are your number 2s. Box the corner, line up the edges and sew. I'm going to take that foot off and I'm going to put on my normal foot. I'm going to put it back into the middle of my needle, and I'm going to sew. And this is about 1 centimetre seam. I'm going to stop just a few stitches before the end. Take that out. So now you can see you've got your little box corner there. So we're going to do the same on the other one. So we're going to put those corners together, and we're going to start sewing where that point is there to the end. So you're not sewing right to the end of the seam. And then you're going to bring those 2 ends together and match up the top. Just give that little tweak and that will pull it. So you're going to start stitching where those stitches ended on your previous one. To give a little back tack just to make sure it all holds. And that gives you your bag there. So now you can see how it all goes together. So I'll quickly catch up on this side, and then I'll show you how to put the flap in and do the handle. It's quite a quick and easy bag once you've done all the patchwork. And I know it is easier for you to see how to do it. So again, just stop a little bit before the end. It's probably about 1/4 inch. Do the other side. And you would take a lot more care in all your lining up than I'm doing. I just know I needed to get this done before I go on my holidays. So now I'm sewing to where that line of stitching is, what I've sewed previously. Do a little back tack. And then pull those 2 together and sew to the top. So I'm squashing down those seams there, and I'm starting stitching where the stitches are from the previous row. A little back tack. then sew to the end. So that gives you the body of the bag. Right, I'm quickly going to do the handle. Oh, and by the way, when you had it all cut out, you needed to cut out your lining, which is exactly the same size as the patchwork pieces when they're cut, and I've just patched the pocket on there. So you would do that before you sew the bag up. But the lining is sewn up in exactly the same way. These two corners go together. Those two corners go together. And then you sew that one up together. So the handles, very easy, like I do most of my handles. I've cut a 4-inch strip, I've pressed it in half like that, and then I've pressed it in half again, so that comes into the middle and that one comes into the middle, and I've stick and stayed the wadding in there, folded that back over, and I'm now just going to sew down the long edge. My foot's sticking, so I might have to get it going a bit faster if I move it. Take out your pins as you go. Do the flap then. So the flap you should have already got cut out. Now you would sew down the other end as well, but just for speed, I'm sure you know how we do that. I get my D-rings now, and I'll show you how we put the D-rings on. So you get 2 D-rings in your kit. That's these little fellas here. What I want you to do is push that through, fold it over, and then just do a row of stitches. Do a couple of rows actually, because you want to give it strength, because this is where all the stress is on your handbag. And then cut that off. Do exactly the same on the other side. Pop that through, fold it over. A couple of rows of stitches. Cut off the excess. And then you're going to put the strap back through, fold over about 1/4 inch at the end, fold that up and reinforce by top stitching along the seam. So that'll give you your strap, that affixes into your handbag, and then you've got your strap there. So you do exactly the same on the other side. Obviously I've got one already done. So the flap is comprised of 3 pieces. So you've got your main fabric, your wadding and your lining. What you want to do is put the lining on top, and then you need to sew all the way around, leaving this part open. So start at one edge, sew to the corner, stop with your needle down, turn, and then sew to the point. Stop with your needle down and turn again. last bit. Sorry about Molly on the move. Give me a little tip-tap and pause. She's coming to see what we're doing. I'm just clipping the corners, basically, cutting a little V out, and that just reduces bulk. So I'm now going to turn this to the right side. Just poke out the points there. And you can top stitch this if you want, or if you did a decorative stitch on your quilting, you could do a nice matching decorative stitch, which would look lovely. For speed, I'm just going to top stitch. I just thought I needed to start about 1/4 of an inch in, so I can get into the lining, but I'll just unpick that bit. So I'll stop there. Right, so that gives you your bag flap. So I just need to unpick a little bit here, just so that I can get in to do the lining. It's because it's been a long time since I did this bag. But it's coming back to me. There we go. Molly's trying to get in on the picture. I think she actually wants a walk. Right, so there we've got our bag flap. So now what we need to do... Molly's trying to get under the camera. Sorry about the movement. Molly, you can't fit through there, you're too big. Come on, this way. Good girl. She's determined to get on film. Well, she's done it, she's managed. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the flap on. So the flap needs to go right sides together, centrally along one side. So I'm just going to pin there. And open out that where I had to unpick, because I need to get in there. And we're just going to sew straight across the top, catching all those layers in together. Just make sure you don't catch the lining in. So to the other side. And then we need to sew the handles in. So the handles are going to go, that's the long one, I've got a short one somewhere, never mind, I'll put this one in. The handles are going to go at the side here, side of the flap. I need it that way actually, because we want the rough part on the inside. I'll just sew the handle in. One handle, so then I need to find the other side. I weren't going to use this one, but I'm going to have to. Where is it gone? There it is. So I'll just sew the strap, making sure it's the same side. It wants to go that way. Fold 1/4 of an inch in again, roll that up, and then sew across the top. That's going to go in the other side. So then all we've got left to do is the lining. So have we to do a second video with the lining, or are we to carry on? I think we'll try and carry on and see if we can get it all done in one. So like I said, there's not a lot to it once you've done all the patchwork. So just sewing the other pocket in, sorry, the other strap in at the other side. And then we're going to turn it back to the inside and put the lining in. Make sure you tuck all your handles in, so you can see now you've got your bag flap, your handles are there all tucked inside, and you've got the lining of the flap already on. Take your lining and we're going to sew the points together as I explained previously. The number ones go together, the number twos go together, and then finally the number threes. Take that out, match up the other points. So to where the stitches are, you can see I just caught that point there. Pull that back and then you're going to sew to the top, starting from those stitches. Repeat on the other side. So it's those two together. Stop about a quarter of an inch away, or to a centimetre, something like that, and then do the other points. Stop when you get to the stitches and back tack, and then do the top part. So now we need to turn this to the right side, and this is then going to be pinned into the bag. Make sure you get the pocket part onto the back. So move that the right side. No, we don't need it inside out. Sorry, I'll get there in the end, and you need to tuck your pocket, your flap in. That's how we did it. So you've got your flap tucked in, and your pocket, your flap lining is loose. So that's going to get stitched to the back with the pocket on there. Just match the side seams. Pop a little pin in there. Same at the other side. Match the side seams. Pop a pin in. Tuck the bag lining inside and match the fronts up. Now when you sew it, make sure you go over the bag handles as well. Now we need to leave a gap for turning, so we're probably better off leaving this part here, and then we'll hand sew that because it's the back of the bag. So we'll start at this side and we'll sew from this side seam. Do a back stitch. It sounds quite hard because I'm actually going over the straps and the front of the bag and the lining and the wadding. So I've sewn with about a centimetre seam allowance here and matching up the edges. Sewing all the way around to the other side. So over where the other strap is, back tap, take it out and turn it to the right side. Push your lining inside. Now I would give it a press, and then you want to turn a little seam onto the lining and onto there, and then you can hand sew that together and put your clasp on. Now I'm not going to show you the clasp because I've actually done that in the pipe shoulder bag, so that's on another video, but that is how you make your evening bag. And don't forget to do the matching purse.